Today is day 10 of Russia-Ukraine conflict. I have major updates from day 10 for you. Firstly, we'll have a look at ceasefire efforts today. Today there was announcement of humanitarian ceasefire in two cities. Evacuation of civilians were to start, but it did not happen, though some civilians were evacuated. Secondly, Kherson, which is under Russian control, where a huge protest rally has been seen against Russians. And thirdly, some losses of Russian and Ukrainian forces. Russians have suffered some major losses in terms of the loss of their aircrafts, helicopters in the last 24 hours. Ukrainians have lost some tanks, APCs, artillery pieces. We have some clips for you. Lastly, foreign fighters, Ukrainians, Ukrainian diaspora, they are coming back to Ukraine to fight. Some numbers were shared by Defense Minister of Ukraine today, claiming that thousands have returned to Ukraine to fight Russian forces. Firstly, because in two cities of Ukraine today, a humanitarian ceasefire was agreed by Russian and Ukrainian negotiators. An evacuation of civilians were to start from these two cities. The two cities are Mariupol and Volnovakha. You can see on this map Mariupol and Volnovakha. There is no electricity, no gas, no water in these two places. Negotiators agreed for a 7-hour ceasefire for evacuation of civilians. Ceasefire was due to start at 9 a.m. today. From 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., a ceasefire was agreed, and at 11 a.m., evacuation of civilians was due to start from Mariupol and Volnovakha. What happened? From Volnovakha, around 400 civilians were evacuated, then shelling started. From Mariupol, no one could be evacuated. Mariupol mayor is accusing Russian forces that they violated ceasefire. They started shelling, and civilians could not be evacuated. From Volnovakha, just 400 evacuated. So now talks are again underway for the implementation of this ceasefire tomorrow. Russian forces, they are accusing Ukrainians that they violated ceasefire. It happens in such situations. At least the two sides are agreeing to evacuate civilians. Secondly, Kherson, viewers. Kherson is under Russian control, southern Ukraine. Here, a massive rally was seen from Ukrainians. Today, they chanted slogans, Kherson is Ukraine, Kherson is Ukraine. Unarmed civilians, they were out on the streets of Kherson telling Russians to leave the city. Watch this clip from today's rally in Kherson against Russian forces. Thirdly, there were some gains and losses for Russian forces, though Russians have air superiority over Ukrainian air force, but still their jets, their helicopters, drones are being shot down. In the last 24 hours, Russians lost 3 aircrafts, 3 helicopters, and 1 drone, which has been visually confirmed. Pictures, videos have confirmed that Russians lost 1 Su-35 aircraft, two Su-25 aircrafts, two Mi-24 attack helicopters, one Mi-8 helicopter, and one Orlan-10 drone. We have video clip of one Russian jet shot down over Chernihiv. You can see picture. This picture shows Russian Orlan-1 drone, which was shot down today in Ukraine. The video shows an Su-34 Russian aircraft. It was shot down over Chernihiv. It happened within the last 24, 28 hours. So Russians lost some of their aircrafts, helicopters. You see that Russians are not in full control of Ukrainian airspace. And such losses happen because Russian attack helicopters are accompanying their convoys to protect them. So when you're flying at a low altitude, protecting, escorting your convoys, you are vulnerable to ground strikes. You're vulnerable to attack from manpads. That is what's happening, that these manpad stingers are playing a key role in attacks on these Russian bombers and helicopters. Watch this video. It shows a Russian Su-34 aircraft shot down over Chernihiv. While Russian forces are losing, they are gaining as well. We know that Kherson was taken by Russian forces a few days ago, I think 3 days ago. We have a video clip for you from Kherson. This video clip shows the weaponry which Russians seized when they entered Kherson. You can see in this video several trucks, APCs can be seen, at least one Zu-23-2 anti-aircraft gun can be seen, tanks can be seen, artillery pieces are there. So you see, they are losing the equipment, but they're gaining as well. They're seizing weaponry. Once you enter cities, you take control of cities, then you capture their weaponry as well. Problem is that international media is mostly covering Russian losses. They're not showing Ukrainian losses. RT has been banned, Russian news channel across Europe, in the US, in some other parts of the world. International media is mostly showing Russian losses, not showing Ukrainian losses. Ukraine is suffering as well. Military losses by suffered Ukraine are much more than the losses suffered by Russia. Watch this clip showing Russian military capturing Ukrainian military equipment in Kherson town of Ukraine, which is under Russian control.
На уже бывшей украинской военной базе в районе Херсона, в Херсонской области. Как видите, здесь не было особо боя. Украинские военные, которые держали здесь оборону, они оставили огромное количество техники, исправной техники. Вот танки Т-64. Далее мы видим всевозможную технику, грузовики, БТРы, бронированные машины, также установки ГРАД. В ту сторону уже арсеналы, в ту сторону.
Lastly, viewers, foreign fighters, Ukrainian diaspora is returning to Ukraine. They want to fight in Ukraine. Today, it was confirmed by Defense Minister of Ukraine. His name is Oleksiy Reznikov. Oleksiy Reznikov says that since the start of this war, 66,000 Ukrainian men have returned to Ukraine. Not Ukrainian, people from abroad, they have returned to Ukraine. They want to fight. We do know that Belarusians, some Belarusians, they also want to fight in Ukraine. We have heard some reports about people from Georgia trying to come to Ukraine to fight. From Chechnya as well, Chechen fighters have been seen in Ukraine to support Ukrainian forces, while Chechen military is supporting Russian forces. So you see that Ukrainians and non-Ukrainians from abroad, they're flocking towards Ukraine. They want to fight Russian forces. While civilians are being evacuated from Ukraine, while they're crossing into neighboring countries, large number of fighters are arriving in Ukraine. If Russia is not able to take Kiev in coming days, we could see a protracted resistance from Ukrainian forces supported by foreign fighters. I personally think that it's an ideal environment, an ideal situation for the US to weaken Russia. They would like this war to continue to weaken Russia and Europe as well, though Europe, US suffering a little, Europe suffering more than the US. But an ideal strategy for these countries would be to contain Russia by backing Ukraine indirectly. That is what seems to be happening. Large number of foreign fighters are entering Ukraine from different parts of the world. Thank you for watching.